Now we will discuss about the oogenesis, right? Previously we have discussed the whole process of spermatogenesis. Now we will focus upon oogenesis process. So firstly, what is oogenesis? We will consider this, right? So oogenesis means, we can say, a process, or we can say a gametogenic process, right? Which involves the formation of ova, right? So it is a gametogenic process which involves the formation of the ova, or the mature ovarian follicle, we can say, and in the gonad, or we can say formation of ova in the ovary, right? So this process occurs in the ovary, alright, and what it involves is the formation of ova, right? Ova is the plural form. If we represent it in singular form, then it is called as ovum. That means formation of ovum can also be written or expressed. So we can say in this process also meiosis occurs and reduction of chromosomes occurs. That's why we can say that ovum which is formed is haploid in nature, that means contains one set of chromosomes only, right? Like for example, if we talk about humans, we have 46 chromosomes, right? And this is the 2n number, diploid number. When we talk about the n number, this is, we say, 23 chromosomes approx. So this is the haploid number, and the number of chromosomes is reduced due to meiosis, and also meiosis first, which is reduction division. In frogs we observe that there are 26 chromosomes, which is again the 2n number. So after reduction they are left with 13 chromosomes, which is the haploid number. So in this way meiosis occurs there, and reduction of chromosomes also occurs. Alright. So when we say that this process occurs in the ovary, so we will study the structure of ovary, how ovary is present here. So structure of ovary, right? How ovary is present. how different structures can be formed, right? Right, so this kind of structure is seen of the ovary, that how ovary is present, right? So firstly, when we talk about the ovary structure, we say that ovary is present in pairs, right? Where it is present in the abdominal portion. Right? It's situated where? In the abdominal region of all the animals, and ovary is present in pairs. But exception is there, that means in birds we only have one ovary due to reduction of weight, because they need to reduce their weight. So that's why in them only one ovary is present, so that they can fly easily. Second thing which we observe is that the outer layer of ovary is called as outer peritoneum, or we can say that ovarian capsule is present outside the ovary. So the ovarian capsule, the outer layer of the capsule is outer peritoneum, and just below this lies tunica albuginea. Right? So this contains the epidermal cells, and tunica albuginea contains connective tissue. Right? Then this, we can say both these structures comprise to the capsule part. So under the capsule, the layer which lies is germinal epithelium, right? Which is composed of primordial germ cells, right? This layer is composed of primordial germ cells, and this germinal epithelium contains epidermal cells, but they are cuboidal like structures, right? So this is the structure in layers of ovary. Ovarian capsule is present, capsule is double layered, outer layer is outer peritoneum, consists of epidermal cells. Inner layer is tunica albuginea, contains connective tissue most of the time. Then below the capsule lies germinal epithelial layer or epithelium, which contains cuboidal cells in it, and primordial germ cells are present in this. And from these primordial germ cells follicles are formed, or we can say oogonia are formed. Right? So now we will see the we can say this is the germinal epithelium, and from this layer oogonia are released out. So these are oogonia, and when these oogonia, we can say, grows in number and undergoes growth, then it is called as primary oocyte. Right? This is, we can say, one layered follicle cell. This is two layered cell or two layered follicle cell. That means it contains two layers of follicle. Right? Then this will get matured into a structure, and here we see that antrum is forming. Right? Antrum is forming. Antrum is a fluid-filled cavity present in the follicle, right, or matured follicle. So this is the Graafian follicle. We say mature follicle. It is formed, and this cavity is known as antrum, fluid-filled cavity. Ovum is present here, and outside the ovum are present the follicle cells, right? So follicle cells are present outside the ovum. Alright, then this ovum is released outside, right? At the time of ovulation, or we can say at 14th day, it is released outside and the follicles just remain there. Right? And these follicles at this time are called as corpus hemorrhagicum. That just means that hemorrhagicum means hem means blood and rhagicum means clot-like structure. So here blood clot-like structures is persistent, right? Because ovum is released outside, ovulation has occurred. So now corpus hemorrhagicum structure is formed. Now this corpus hemorrhagicum grows and matures to form corpus luteum, or we can say young corpus luteum. Right? So it is formed as corpus luteum. This corpus luteum contains fibrils, blood clot, blood vessels, connective tissue, and luteal cells. Right? So it contains all these structures. Even the nerve fibers also are present here, and we can say that this is a kind of endocrine structure. Right? It is a kind of endocrine structure because at later on it will release progesterone. Alright. Then after the corpus luteum stage, if pregnancy does not occur, then this changes into corpus albicans. Right? It changes into corpus albicans, which is white or yellow body. Alright? And then it is excreted out. Alright, these are blood vessels present here. This is the mesovagal from where the ovary is attached. Right, so this type of structure is present in the ovary, and the middle portion of ovary is called as medulla and the outer portion is called as cortex region. Right, here stroma part is also present, and stroma part contains the connective tissue plus the developing follicles and ova. Right, so in that region where connective tissue plus developing ova is present, that region is called as stroma part of the ovary. So in this way, ovary structure is present here, and we can say that there are certain hormones which are responsible for ovary formation. Anterior pituitary part releases FSH, right? Follicle stimulating hormone. And this follicle stimulating hormone forms the follicles as well as we can say ova. Right? So it helps in the formation of the ova as well as follicles surrounding this. These follicles we say that they release estrogen, right? They release estrogens. It can be a estradiol as well, right? In the form of estradiol. So it releases estrogens, and what estrogens control is actually they control two things. Firstly, the accessory female reproductive system, right? Apart from this formation, accessory female reproductive system is just controlled by estrogens, and secondly, secondary sexual characters. So both these functions are controlled by estrogens, or we can say indirectly FSH is controlling these functions. So it helps in the formation of accessory female reproductive system as well as secondary sexual characters, growth of hair at the time of adolescence, right? There are many secondary sexual characters like muscles formation, like voice change and many more. And now when we talk about LH, it is luteinizing hormone and it helps in the release of, we can say, progesterone during the time of pregnancy, right? Progesterone as well as estrogen as well. So FSH is directly maintaining follicles or ova, and LH is maintaining hormonal level, mostly the progesterone level during the time of pregnancy. And without pregnancy, estrogen is present in female's body, which is controlling all the female functions and female structures present there. So now we are very much clear that this is Graafian follicle, and when ova is released at the time of ovulation, corpus hemoraticum, a blood clot-like structure, is present there. Then this corpus hemoraticum grows and changes to corpus luteum structure, which is a kind of endocrine structure, and releases progesterone hormone, right? So progesterone hormone is released by this structure, and this structure comprises many kind of tissues or cells like fibrils, blood clot, blood vessels, connective tissues, gluteal cells, nerve fibers also, nerve cells are also present. So in this way, this is a kind of endocrine structure or mature structure.